Part 2, Episode 1. Since the beginning, only one person has returned alive from that island, making the officials curious. After receiving orders from the shogun to find the elixir of immortality, the prisoner-praying Buddhist murderer was crushed by Aza right on the boat. Jiga saw this and happily shook hands, thanking him profusely for being able to return early. Who would have guessed the current pushed his boat to dock at the island anyway, which was bitter. After a moment of hesitation, he decided to return to convey the dying words of the prisoner to their family. Jika thinks we should stay away from that island because that place does not belong to this world. Only fools or children would dare to poke a beehive. The officials heard this and got angry, thinking he dared to be arrogant with the shogunate. Before things went too far, Shugen apologized on his behalf as the acting leader of the clan. Although annoyed, the officials still considered overlooking this rudeness. According to the shogun order, the clan will go to that island once more. Your mission is to monitor those who have landed on the island. Ending the hearing, Shugen expressed dissatisfaction with the disrespectful behavior earlier before the shogunate. Even if you are a senior, you must adhere to the etiquette of a samurai. In response, Jiga just smiled and accepted the blame to let it pass, wondering if any prisoners were still useful. Shugen heard that the next group sent to the island would be ninja. After witnessing the ninja group send all the prisoners to the altar, the shogun satisfactorily chose 4 people present right there to carry out the mission, accidentally creating favorable conditions for the village chief to send the ninja group up there, targeting the main character, when knowing he would join the reinforcement team and head to the island in a few days. Jika objected, saying, I do not want to get involved with that place anymore. Suddenly Shugen shed tears, worrying whether everyone on the island was safe. Every time I think of them, I cannot sit still and wait. In short, he wants us to go to the island ourselves and quickly complete the mission. Seeing the fisherman coming to ask what we should do with this thing, Jiga suddenly remembered the monstrous head he had painstakingly brought back for the officials to see. But before he could present this thing, work was pushed onto him. Jiga put his arm around the fisherman, asking him to handle it, and promised to compensate with a trip to the red light district, being warned by the fisherman that maybe the tentacles are still alive. Shugen calmly touched it, because it had been dead for a long time. I do not sense the aura of life from this thing. After examining it, he went to meet the remaining 2 members to inform them of the upcoming plan. The 4 of us will set off for the island as planned. It is useless for Jika to hide because the whole group will depart for there immediately. Lying on the bed, Rin said that the nature of Tao is life. Using Tao is equivalent to consuming one's own life force. The more it is used, the more the body and soul are affected. The body and soul are ultimately forms of Tao. While discussing, suddenly Taofa rushed in, asking both to go out and admire the cultivation hall. Although a bit flashy, Rin found this place very great. The layout is perfect for concentrating on practicing Banshujutsu. However, that point of view was ruthlessly refuted. If Banshujutsu relies on the circulation of yin and yang, then keeping it neutral is enough. Rin denied, claiming that Tao takes on a separate form depending on the life possessing it. When harmonizing with others, you will unlock new power in Tao. Although bloody, it is necessary. Seeing both working hard on cultivation, Tao Fa went to pour some newly pressed tan and gave it to the other to drink. But then she totally forgot to put in the luminescent substance, so she had to run to find it. The next morning, Sajiri suddenly discovered that the group had put on a new look. Blood-stained clothes would be easily noticed, so everyone wanted her to turn a blind eye. Putting that aside, she wanted to reunite with the main character group as soon as possible. If his goal is the elixir, then he will come to this castle. Yuzuriha thinks the group should leave this island instead. If we continue to linger here, we will be killed by the Tensen and the monsters. Sajiri quickly realized the little ninja was only thinking of herself. Since knowing there is no elixir of immortality here, she has only focused on leaving the island. Instead of blaming, Sajiri felt reassured by the rationality of the little ninja. If everyone wants to leave the island, then we will go together. Yuzuriha blushed, not expecting the samurai girl to be so cool. She thinks the main character has probably arrived here because near the gate there is a wall broken by an explosion. Only he could leave that trace. In short, waiting outside the gate is a reasonable idea. Besides, Yuzuriha also raised doubts about Gabimaru's wife. Currently, his group is climbing up the stronghold, according to Little My words, but seeing nothing. Because his memory has not been restored, Gabimaru does not know what he is doing. Am I executing orders, or is there another reason? While moving, the group accidentally encountered Aza. He smiled, calling the other side allies, then threw the corpse to the ground. Then suddenly kicked Gabimaru away, forcing both sides to be on high alert. Without thinking much, he rushed to brush the thug hand aside, then jumped on him and broke his neck, causing the opponent to collapse on the spot. Seeing this, Little Mai warned that this person Tao is very large. Gabimaru was bewildered, not yet understanding her meaning, when he was lifted up by Aza. He smirked and slammed him hard to the ground in front of everyone. Was not his neck broken already? Gabimaru launched a sneak attack, but was grabbed by the leg and slammed again. In frustration, he angrily declared, "I will tear you into pieces." Finished speaking, he picked up a stone, flicked it hard, then suddenly flashed behind his back. Next, he continuously aimed at the head, striking to make the thug dizzy. Then gently removed the opponent's eyes to deal the finishing blow. Unexpectedly, he was kicked in the face, leaving him stunned. Aza easily recovered from all wounds, wondering if a gentleman plays these dirty tricks. Although formidable, he is nothing compared to the main character. The thug kept rushing in to attack directly, but was beaten by him until blood sprayed, everyone observed. The attacks aiming at vital points were effective but extremely brutal. Just like a battle between two beasts. Ironically, Aza's recovery ability was still too superior. With just one stomp, he caused the ground to collapse. He criticized Gabimaru for being too weak compared to expectations, then rushed to punch straight into the head. He suppressed the pain and tried to counterattack, but it was no use. Aza blocked the blow, punched the opponent away, and realized he had 2 fingers bitten off. The swordsman saw that Gabimaru's moves were still reasonable but not as strong as yesterday. Little Mai could not help worrying because his Tao was too strange. Gabimaru has lost something very important, so he is in a state of doubt. This strange feeling of loss makes the main character wonder, leading to the fact that the more he fights, the more disadvantageous he becomes against Aza. Listening to his older brother, the younger brother immediately rushed to attack the big guy first to save trouble. Unexpectedly, the man caught the blade with his bare hands, questioning, "Why aim at me first, huh?" Saying that, he let go of the sword and shouted angrily, "Do not think I am easy to beat, you brat." Then he headbutted him once, making the ground loosen. "For someone like you, I do not need to draw my sword to handle." The swordsman does not care which clan the opponent belongs to. Those who dare to look down on him will receive a bitter end. Long Hair is talented, but his strength only goes so far. Also, because of relying too much on talent, he was beaten like a rag by the man. If you had begged to be allies sooner, you would have avoided being beaten. Knowing that, but Long Hair will still listen to his brother. In the past, the 2 brothers went through many adversities, so he hates those who form cliques. Even the bandits we led were just pawns. I just need to be by my brother's side, that is enough. In just a short time, the swordsman quickly realized the opponent was getting better. From his grip strength to his center of gravity, it has changed, but his thinking is still young and green. Facing that situation, the long-haired guy ordered the Taoist to kill the 2 people standing over there, forcing Fuchi to pull out his weapon for self-defense. Back to the battle, Aza through Tao started to read the movements of the ninja. Just as the Taoist said, he has extremely powerful Tao, so he has not been swallowed by it yet. You have not been because it is not something you achieve through cultivation. To avoid being killed by the enemy during the fight, Gabimaru will temporarily forget the discomfort and make himself soulless. As a ninja, I must cause the greatest damage to the enemy before logging out. Aza sees the main character burning intensely and mocks, "Are you planning to sacrifice yourself? If so, we'll grant your wish." Using the fire bridge ninjutsu, Gabimaru turned the thug into a living torch. Next, he unleashed thunder strikes, making holes all over Aza's body. Taking advantage of his weakness, Gabimaru ran to choke him and drag him down to hell together. He is not afraid to die because ninja are a collective, so individual life has no value. I have nothing left to lose like you do. Can someone seeking life defeat someone who is already dead? In response, Aza just smiled, admitting Gabimaru was very right. Other things, even if lost, he does not care. Because his younger brother is everything to him. After dealing with the Taoist, everyone was shocked to find Aza had become a monster. A raging thing that could collapse and crumble at any moment. Episode 2. Witnessing the thug constantly transforming and sprouting countless roots to attack. Gabimaru was forced to move constantly but was still hit by Aza. He calmly landed safely, then responded with a fire bridge attack. The powerful flame easily burned the roots but was not strong enough to defeat him. The thug jumped, turning his arm into an axe, chopping straight down. Then continued to use roots to attack, forcing Gabimaru to use fire armor to defend. While both were fighting fiercely, Aza started to wonder what he was doing. Somehow every time he looked into the spiral, his anger welled up. He gradually lost control and wanted to take the ninja life no matter what. Even though I do not understand what is happening, I will kill you. Currently, Gabimaru cannot use Tao because he cannot remember. If the battle continues to drag on, he will lose. Gabimaru knew he could lose his life, but showed no fear. Even ready to trade his life with that guy to eliminate the danger right in front of his eyes. But every time he planned to act, something held him back, however. It is hard for Gabimaru to turn back in this situation. Watching both rush into suicide, everyone felt it was unbelievable. The goal of the two of them is pardon, so if they die, what is the point? At that moment, the younger brother was shocked to realize his brother was fighting for him. It is also because of me that you became like this. The more he fought, the more Aza lost his reason. To the point he could not remember who he was. Before he completely sank deep into the darkness. The younger brother used his whole body to wake up his brother, who was gradually becoming a monster. All this time I thought we were fighting together. But turns out all this time, only you were fighting alone. Because I am weak and unreliable, you had to push yourself to this extent. Maybe I am just a part of you, but you are everything to me. Seeing Gabimaru frantically rushing in, intending to turn both into torches. Little Mai was forced to use power to stop both sides before things went too far. The stubborn ninja kicked a rock into the head, making the thug dizzy. With a little remaining consciousness, Aza took his brother to a safe place, while he himself fell into a bottomless pit. After casting the spell, Little Mai could not stand and fell into the swordsman's arms. When Fuchi approached, the two panicked to discover she had turned into a beautiful young woman. Through the recent battle, both realized this island still has too many mysteries. In the daylight, the monstrous statues began to reveal themselves clearly, making everyone's hair stand on end. If all mysteries on this island are just illusions, then who created these things? Being a resident here, the tree man knew this place was a fabricated island. Initially, he planned to accept his fate like other people in the village, but when seeing humans who could kill the Tensen, he reconsidered. They will surely change this island. When that happens, will I still be myself? Right when stepping out the gate, Sajiri group finally reunited with everyone. But there were still too many things making both sides wonder what had happened. When seeing Mai return safely despite using that power, the tree man wholeheartedly thanked Fuchi group. Above all, he was extremely amazed to know they were still intact after confronting the monsters, even capturing a Taoist alive. For thousands of years, this is the first time he has seen a ray of hope. What they bring to this island is probably not just simply change. Maybe it is even greater than what he can imagine. In the past, Fuchi occasionally drank tea and chatted with Brother Senta. So when hearing he passed away, he was very heartbroken. The situation is that only this many people are alive, so Teacher Xian thinks the group should avoid this castle as soon as possible. But the problem is currently Gabimaru cannot walk. And Little Mai, although transformed into a young woman, is still the little girl in Sajiri heart. The old swordsman advised the teacher not to think about forming a clique and leaving here together. He generously gave the traitorous brat a chance to live. Yet he still refuses to open his mouth, so he intends to execute him to stop him from being a nuisance. Sajiri objected, claiming he has his own reasons. I will not let anyone leave right in front of me again. The swordsman, annoyed, intended to have a duel but was interrupted by Yuzuriha. It seems Gabimaru is about to stop breathing or something. Teacher Xian saw the condition of that ninja was very bad. Perhaps he used too much Tao, so he became like this. As if the core of life has been damaged. Suddenly, Gabimaru woke up and saw a bunch of strange faces looking at him. He pretended to obediently rest, but resolutely did not let Sajiri examine the wounds. This life, no matter what happens, I do not care. The samurai girl, suspicious, asked, "Who is the opponent?" Gabamaru closed his eyes, declaring I am the Hollow Man, then suddenly rushed to attack, but was blocked. Just as Sajiri thought the ninja memory is being scrambled due to Tao disturbance. Even the teacher sensed his soul being seriously eroded. Just looking at the wounds all over the body, she immediately realized Gabamaru had fought ceaselessly since separating. Even if he falls down, he will still crawl up, not letting himself rest. Sajiri sorrowfully approached, slowly questioning if he knew the reason why he was here. If he can apply compatibility, he can regain that memory. She repeatedly emphasized that I am not an enemy you need to be wary of. I am a close companion you can trust. Even saying that, the young man was still stubborn, not letting her touch, making the girl lose patience. So she was forced to use force to make this stubborn ninja lie still. Sajiri was both embarrassed and gloating because Gabamaru no longer had the strength to fight back. Like she was getting revenge for the old days. Putting that aside, she focused on using her Tao to help the ninja recover. Mai blushed, knowing clearly that action was similar to the Tensen Bansha Jutsu. Through contact, Tao circulates and recovers. Although the method is a bit wrong, teacher Xian sees their Tao is very compatible with each other. Done, Sajiri forced Gabamaru to cooperate if he wanted to go home. There is someone waiting for you to return, right? At that moment, Gabamaru finally regained all memories of his wife. After falling from high up and still being alive, Aza finally realized he had been absorbed by Tao. A dangerous power far beyond his understanding. Although dangerous, the thug was not discouraged. Aza hoped to see his younger brother soon and discovered a bunch of monsters coming. However, in his eyes, they are just living punching bags to practice Tao. At the same time, the group decided to go to the shelter found by the old swordsman. Besides, he also wanted to know what is so scary about those Tensen that everyone is wary of. Thinking back now, Yuzuriha still feels chills when confronting them. It took 5 people combining forces to kill one, so it would be strange not to be afraid. Moreover, we just cause chaos in their territory, so sooner or later, the remaining ones will know. After regaining memory, Gabamaru wanted to apologize to everyone for causing trouble. But thanks to that, I understood the power and might of Tao. I learned how scary the Tensen, use it. Now if leaving here empty-handed, the prisoner group will not receive a pardon from the shogunate. Meaning the whole gang will still face the death penalty. Yuzuriha raised the doubt that maybe the wife Gabamaru sees is an illusion that does not exist. High probability it is a trick of the village chief. If your wife is not real, then bringing back the elixir has no meaning. Gabamaru is sure his wife is real because he can feel it. Indeed, while losing his mind, he only remembered trivial details. I am inherently not good at expressing in words, so it is hard to explain clearly. But the image of the gentle wife is still imprinted in Gabamaru's mind. From the eyes squinting every time she smiles, the voice to the hair and scent he still remembers very clearly. The warm, genuine feeling when she holds my hand cannot be mistaken. My wife is not an illusion, because I still feel it. The only way I can prove it is to leave the island and meet her again. Hearing that, Sajiri smiled, admitting he spoke correctly. The old swordsman really likes the mettle of a great man, so also agreed to help. While Gabamaru told the story, teacher Xian saw his Tao surging powerfully. The body, though small, contains an extremely large amount of Tao. Those who have something to lose are extremely strong on the other side. After Aza defeated all the monsters, he confronted Rin, the person hunting for the whereabouts of the one who killed the Tensen. Episode 3. When seeing Aza blown off, arm regenerate immediately. Rin showed interest, wanting to capture that thug for research. Not in the mood, Fuchi decided to give the Taoist a way to live. After sparing his life, he returned to the cave to examine little Mai. The girl is of the same kind as the Tensen, and can use strange power like them. Although ingredients were limited, he still managed to make a simple fever-reducing dose. Fuchi is willing to treat on the condition that Mai must provide information about the Tensen and herself. Depending on the answer, I will consider whether to spare you. During interrogation, he wanted Sajiri to go prepare the medicinal herbs written on the paper. Meanwhile, Gabamaru called everyone to a deserted area to warm up a bit. Basically, he wants the whole gang to rush in at once to improve fighting instincts. The old swordsman, hearing that, thought he planned to use him as a punching bag and got angry veins. Long hair also did not want to stand still and be bound. While the two teachers Shion were ready to act if Gabamaru pulled any shady tricks. Amidst the chaos, suddenly the old swordsman cut the ropes, then told the long-haired guy to take a weapon and use it. I will use bare hands to beat him up. Thanks to the recent battles, Gabamaru realized relying on the power of Tao would be very dangerous. But without controlling it, one cannot defeat the Tensen, or anyone else. Seeing the main character bow to thank for helping makes the swordsman furious. Immediately both rushed to attack, but all missed. Gabamaru focused on sensing with Tao instead of normal eyes, so he could see through all attacks. He easily made the opponent lose balance with just a light push. And the old swordsman's sneak attack trick was also no use. If only using normal strength, Gabamaru cannot match up. But if aiming at the weak points of Tao, then a weak body can also unleash powerful blows. Seeing that the girl also could not restrain herself and jumped in to join the fight. Although quite proficient, Gabamaru knew he could not surpass the Tensen. They are monsters who have practiced Tao for 1,000 years, so humans cannot compare. Therefore he is forced to use the Tao around them to cope. If he can utilize the Tensen Tao, he can counterattack. Sounds overpowered, but there are still many obstacles that need to be resolved. After observing for a while, teacher Shion realized there are quite a few types of Tao. Each type has its own attribute and compatibility level. If leveraging that, we can destroy the immortals. Knowing this is shameful, Longhair bowed to ask the old swordsman. Please teach me practical swordsmanship. I want the strength to survive on this island. Finished speaking, he cut off his long hair to show seriousness. Please teach me swordsmanship. Just as well, the old swordsman was intending to swing a few strokes, so he allowed the brat to come over and watch. To be able to stand by his brother, the younger brother is ready to do anything to become stronger. After gaining strength, I will come to save you right away. On the other side, Aza did not expect the enemy to be as strong as the previous one. He gritted his teeth, preparing to get serious. Suddenly Rin stopped and clapped. Aza Tao is being absorbed by the flowers that turn humans into tan. Yet he still retained consciousness. Rin curiously wanted to test a bit, then launched a bunch of attacks. The thug knew he would lose control if he used that method again. But he also had no other choice, so was forced to take a risk. Aza tried to focus as much as possible not to try to have his consciousness stolen, then rushed to attack frantically, making Rin extremely impressed. Both speed and strength exceeded human limits. While consciousness remains, Aza must take the opportunity to deal with the enemy as soon as possible. The thug ceaselessly launched attacks and succeeded in piercing the weak point. Without hesitation, he immediately tore the body apart, not giving Rin a chance to regenerate. Ironically, the thing Aza just defeated was just one of Rin's clones. The fact that he unlocked the Tao of the Weidenhua Flower's Tao and could still control it is unprecedented. You are so beautiful. Rin approached, advising Aza not to try too hard or he would die. You must know how to take care of yourself. Finished speaking, he gently struck once, making Aza exit the state and faint immediately. In a coma, the thug saw himself crying and woke up with a start. Then started wondering where he was. Rin, in female form, walked over, saying, Your body is very precious. In the process of becoming tan, the Tao streams mixed and the human Tao one. So simply put, Aza is the key to help him complete the research. By circulating Tao between the two, Rin can understand thoroughly, simultaneously helping Aza recover the weakened Tao source. Each Tao has a different attribute, including wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Through contact, one can weaken the opponent Tao, also known as incompatibility. And if doing the opposite, it is called mutual generation. Aza knew he could not escape the enemy, so took this opportunity to exploit more information. According to Mai, both the Tensen and this island were created by the same person, a highly renowned pharmacist from the mainland. He researched immortality based on the philosophies of Taoism. At this island, he discovered a way to directly control Tao. That pharmacist pursued immortality by combining the Tao of creatures through countless trials and failures. After fusing Tao between humans and a hermaphroditic plant species, the Grand Tensen was born and could self-enhance Tao through yin-yang operation. Then, just like that, continuously refining Tao for thousands of years. In Taoism, the process of cultivation within one's own body to reach immortality is called Nai Tanho. On the other hand, methods helping humans become immortal, like preparing elixirs, are called Gai Tanho. That means the elixir of immortality is completely real. Fuchi believes the Tensen are still researching because Tan is a primitive experimental product. Precisely because of that, they must collect lives and absorb human Tao to maintain longevity. The self-sustaining Tao source of the Grand Tensen is also not quite perfect. If losing a large amount of Tao in a short time, they will die. Although purpose is unclear, Mai thinks this could be the pharmacist's wish. The creator of this island served Qin Shi Huang and pursued immortality. He, along with 3,000 boys and girls and hundreds of artisans, entered the Eastern Sea. A character appearing from 1,000 years ago and still continuing research work. So it can be said this island is both a research place and a testing ground. Rin takes the example of the wooden people existing to observe immortal life. They lack the concept of death, so monsters were created to teach them ethics and maintain order. Even the Tensen are just creations born from the fusion of the Master Tao and flowers. A single entity, but also very distinct. Tao is the source of life, not the source of all things. Like dust filling the world, creating all things. Even incense bowls and air are forms of Tao. Just grasping Tao means grasping the laws of the world. Unlike inanimate objects, controlling life is much more difficult. In summary, Aza Tao is extremely precious and he wants to research it. All humans in the mainland will eventually become his elixir of immortality. What Rin needs to do now is create a perfect Tan to serve that purpose. If Aza cooperates obediently, he will be safe. Because of his younger brother, the thug was ready to accept risks when making a choice. Aza accepted performing Banshu Jutsu to Master Tao. All for the safety of the boy. Finished explaining, Mai suddenly collapsed and revealed a mutated arm. Due to imperfect body, every time she uses Tao, the wood transformation process occurs. Long ago her tendon was destroyed by Rin, so restoring Tao the usual way is no use. Mai and he were the first disciples created by the pharmacist. When seeing Rin cruelly killing many people to practice outer alchemy, she tried to dissuade him only to be treated cruelly by him. After being forced to drink some kind of medicine, Mai turned into a child form and fled the palace. Hearing the story, the tree man told Mai to take my Tao. Sooner or later, I will turn into a tree, so this is my way of atonement. Before meeting the girl, he used to have a wife and a daughter. After both and all the villagers were turned into wood, the poor man lived alone quietly until that moment came. He clasped his hands, preparing to accept the end, when accidentally discovering little Mai. When seeing the girl, he remembered his daughter again. Therefore, he decided to pick the girl up to take care of and continue pretending to be a family. He knew Mai really wanted to leave this island but turned a blind eye. At the last moment of his life, he felt guilty for making the girl live with a lie. This is the only chance for him to atone. Mai heartbroken said, actually it is not quite a lie. During the time living with Grandpa, I felt like we were a family. Saying that, Mai cried, while absorbing Tao from the father. Although not blood related, she will forever, never forget the time both lived together.